Right, so now we've looked at all the hand tools in the box. I know that probably took about 3 hours to get through all that, and you don't have to have that many tools. But I mean, I'm a bit of a tool enthusiast, and you know, some of the stuff doesn't get used very often, but when it does get used, it's very handy and makes, you know, what would be a really difficult job an easy job. Now, moving on from hand tools, we get to the more specialist types of tools that I've got. So these are bearing pullers. These are two different types. Again, some of you possibly had these or have heard of them, and some possibly not. I'm guessing this set is a lot rarer. I shouldn't think a lot of you have got them. I've only just got it myself. So, but this one here is a ton 10. I can't actually get the words out. A 10-ton hydraulic puller set. So in here is basically a little hydraulic ram that you operate by the plunger at the top there, by winding that in. And what that does is basically enables you to pull bearings off shafts or anything similar to that. It's a very good set because you've got all different types of. You got you know, you can put 3 legs on if you want, 2 legs if you've only got the space, or if you can get all the way behind it. There you go. You can put that on it as well. So you know, you can really clamp that behind the bearing and pull it off. And you've got all different types of length, from 4 to 8 inch. So really useful set that is to have about, and gets used actually quite a lot. Now this one is kind of similar, but it does interior bearings. So ones that are like we were doing the other day. We were trying to get one out of the inside of a hydraulic pump. So this set wouldn't work because this is only for outer bearings, so you can get around the outside of them. This one is designed to go on the inside. So say the hole in your bearing is that size, you can get that through. So you push that through, and we've got 2 different types of way of getting it off. We've got a slide hammer, and similar to the other one, we've got what would you call that? Well, that's one you can brace onto the edge of the housing to pull the bearing out from inside. So you would wind that on like so. Good little system this is. And then as you wind, whether I can do it by hand or not, basically it'll pull a plunger, a bit like a raw plug in a wall. It'll pull plunger through, and can you see? Oh, I'm not going to be able to do it by hand, but pulling that through opens this up to fill inside the, you know, get behind the bearing, and then you can then wind the whole lot out. So not such a common bit of kit, but when you've got to get an interior bearing out and you're trying to do it without killing it, that is one of the only ways of doing it. Well, this is a tyre lever kit. Now I do use this now and again for stuff like you know, the pickup wheels on balers and that sort of stuff. But other than that, I tend to leave, you know, the bigger stuff to the professionals like Dan. He knows what he's doing. Right, this is a torque wrench. A couple of different options on this. It's got a standard ratcheting head on it, so you put in like that. Then you can use it to, you know, like a standard ratchet, torquing stuff up. Now you can also use it with these. Now if you're wondering what these are, this essentially turns it into a spanner. So you'd slide that in there, and then now I can get on a bolt or a nut or whatever that I wouldn't be able to get on with the ratchet. I'll get on it with that, and I can still torque it up. So again, useful bit of kit, really useful bit of kit. Here we've got another tool that comes out quite often, is slide hammer. So a few different tools to go on here. We've got these, they can go on for hooking around stuff, and you can, you know, use it to pull back with. Even comes with an extractor bit for getting a, you know, broken bolt out. You can wind that into the hole you drill into the broken stud or whatever, and then put that on there, then tap it out. And you've got some flat bits as well, so you just flick that on, put it behind something, and like that. Again, comes in useful now and again. Now this is one of the most useful things I've ever bought, I should think. It's basically a 10-ton portable power pack. So basically this is a hydraulic cylinder that you'll connect up to this, which is a pump, and then I've got loads of different attachments along here, all different sorts. Like that. And then all extensions that I can use to, you know, you can push stuff off, bend stuff, whatever. Like I say, it's 10 ton, so you just screw your handle on like so, and then you just pump that, and then that forces the ram out. So, you know, the only limit is your imagination of what you can do with this thing. Comes in very handy, you know, 10 ton. Very useful, and despite its bloody heavy weight, it comes out fairly often. Really useful bit of kit. Right, big socket sets. Now I've got that covered as well. I've got obviously a fairly standard 3/4 inch set here. Obviously missing one socket there that I've got to find. A couple of extensions. That is the second ratchet I've got for this set. The first one wasn't very good. This one's crap as well. It's an Allura, and it's really, yeah, it's crap. It lives in there, but I don't tend to use it. This is the one I tend to use, unbranded, telescoping even, pronounce it right, George, 3/4 inch ratchet. You can give it plenty. Basically, I can hang on this as much as I can physically, and it's fine. So that is the ratchet I use. Good little set. Then we go on to, I've got 2 impact sets here. This set is a 3/4 set, like I say, fully impact up to 41mm, and this set is basically exactly the same, but it's inch drive. So I haven't actually got any inch drive impact guns at the minute, but the set still sits there ready and waiting. I'm not even really sure why I bought these, but it's a set of body repair hammers, all different types of head on them. That's got a pointy head, some square heads, a ball pine head there, and then different types of different shapes that you can hit to, you know, bend stuff. Again, so this is brand new, never been used. Not actually sure why I bought it. Another set of impact sockets, this time 1/2 inch drive, all the way up to 24mm. I must have had these, I don't know, 5-6 years, brand new, never used them. How many of you have got tools like this, stuff that you've bought and just never used, just sits in the packet? Again, don't use these very often really, but it's a really good set, just sits in me covered under my bench. But full set of Allen keys with a nice little spinny bit there so you can hold it and spin easy, and the same, exactly the same with star bits on the end. So again, really handy set, but I've not really used it, to be honest. Some of you will have seen me using this before. This is a torque multiplier. Again, real handy bit of kit. Enables you to get, you know, super stubborn big bolts as well. Like, you know, this is inch drive, so I forgot, I've got used to that inch drive set. You know, you can get any sort of size bolt off with this bugger. Either that or it'll shear it, one or the other. So, real good bit of kit to have in your armoury, definitely. Again, here's something that doesn't get used very often, but is handy to have about. Basically a set of 1/2 inch drive impact star bits, various lengths, you know, and sort of ones that length. They're useful for getting in places sometimes that are really hard to get to. So again, useful to have about. And lastly, for the non-powered stuff, my tap and die set, which is actually missing the odd the odd bits and bobs. But as you can see, it's a real, it's a a lot of tap and dive sets are just the sort of the small ones that go up to sort of 19mm, sort of M10, M12 sort of size. This is what is this? That's an M24. So that is a if I ever need to, or I can tap a blooming big hole if I need to, and indeed a bolt. So yeah, again, useful kit. I need to replace the bits I've lost over time to get this set fully stocked again. But blooming useful set to have, or even the little ones really, because I mean, to be fair, how often do you tap the big holes? It's normally the little ones you end up tapping, isn't it? So, but good to have in your box. Right, so on to the powered stuff now, and I've got quite a bit of that as well. So firstly, something that's kind of redundant now really, the good old electric drill. This is a Ryobi, 1010 watt, and it's just it's a standard hammer drill, 2-speed gearbox. It's not an SDS drill or anything like that, a standard old school hammer drill. But who uses them anymore? I mean, really, because if you're going to drill a hole by hand, you just use your battery drill, don't you? This is an 18 volt DeWalt. If I'm going to drill a hole by hand, this is what I use. I mean, I'm surely everyone else is the same, I would have thought. Sticking with batteries, I've got me 2 impact drivers here. This one is a 1/2-inch drive impact gun, 18 volt, obviously DeWalt, 3-speed, plenty of power. This is my little impact gun, so this is for driving in screws and tech bolts, that sort of thing. That's what I use it for anyway. Again, 18 volt, really useful bits of kit to have about. Now this old jigsaw must be at least 20 years old. It's an old Champion. Now who remembers them? Probably only cost 15-20 quid when I bought it, and has given me years and years and years of service. Finally, the mechanism that holds the blade on and all that has fallen apart, so she has died, and I am in the market for a new one, but I don't suppose it'll be another Champion, will it? I've also got a black spur, who's ever heard of them? Reciprocating saw. So these are, again, not something you use very often, especially as a farmer, but they're very handy to have. Basically, it's a reciprocating saw. Now what these are handy for really is if you need to cut something flush, but you can't get cut a joist off a wall or something like that. So imagine there's a joist coming out of there, and I've got this now at an angle. I can just go like that. That's the key. The blades are flexible, so it gives you it's something that no other tool can do really. So it's worth having in the old toolbox. Those of you that watched the last video will have already seen this in action. This is me Rotor Roach Panther mag drill, and it's one of my favourite tools. It really is, because who's ever tried drilling a big hole in something that you can't get in under a pillar drill? It's a nightmare, and it really is, with a battery drill or an electric drill. This, so easy, so easy. Now, grinders. This is me 115mm. It's a Bosch, which is quite surprising really, because I normally get just a cheapo, cheapo brand that costs sort of 20-30 quid. Because the amount of abuse they get, it lasts as long as it lasts. But this must be 5-6 years old, possibly more. Still going strong. I've got Moon the cat has come to join us, so that's wondering what the meowing is. This is the 230. It's a 2-year-old Makita. Obviously a fair bit more money, and what can you say, going strong at the minute. Right, on here we've probably got the most expensive tool on its own that I've ever bought. I should think. It's a SIP, it's a SIP Well-Made Multi P185. Now, I got this at the last time Lama was at the Peterborough Showground. And so that was, what, 5 years ago, something like that. I was in the market for a plasma cutter. And that's one of the things this does. It can plasma cut, it can arc weld, and it can TIG weld. So I thought, well, I'm just getting a plasma cutter. I might as well get one that does all three. So yeah, I mean, I don't do a lot of arc welding with it. I haven't done any TIG welding with it, but the option's there. But I've done quite a bit of plasma cutting with it, and yeah, it's pretty good, really pretty good. Right, I'm pretty sure that is all the battery stuff. So we're going to move on to air stuff now. Do I really use this very often? Not really, to be fair. It's a 1/2" drive air ratchet, but again, I don't really use it, to be fair. This is me beast. It's a 3/4 drive pistol grip air gun, a dug, and it's an absolute animal and a right bugger to hold sometimes, just being pistol grip, but it makes it nice and compact. Sort of like for, let me give you an example, doing up U-bolts under an axle, you can't get a normal anvil type long impact gun under them to do them up, because they're normally mega tight, fine thread, and take a lot of turning. Where this, you can get behind it, sort of thing, and get in. But yeah, that's just an animal, that thing. I love it. Right, so we're finally about there. Now, I've wanted one of these for years and years and years, and as you can see, I've only just bought this one. She's Browner's, not used it yet. Basically, it's an air needler, but like I say, it's a 2-in-1. So if I unwind the needler part, like so, it then turns into an air chisel, air hammer. So you can put the chisel bit in there and chisel stuff. But mainly, I bought it for this bit, because I'm going to use this, leading on to the next video, to clean up the front linkage for the fast track, because as you've seen, it needs, a bit of paint stripping and coming off it. So I've wanted one for years, so we're going to test this out on the next video and see how good these things are. It's a Clark X Pro, so it should be alright. So we'll see how that goes in the next video. Right, so we got there eventually. So my favourite hand tool is the Facom 1/2" drive ratchet. It's my go-to ratchet, that is. Battery power tool has got to be the DeWalt impact driver. Again, so useful for tech bolts, that sort of stuff. I wouldn't be without one. And then bigger tool, sort of unique tool, got to be that mag drill. Makes drilling big holes so easy. Again, I wouldn't be without one now. But there is one tool left, and it's a good one. It's a massive tool. It's this, the biggest tool I've ever come across. Now, if you'd like to win this, and I'll get Mucker to sign it, you just got to answer a simple question. What is Mucker's favourite tractor? Put your answers in the old comment section below, and I'll, once a week's gone or whatever, I will draw a name out, and then I'll get Mucker to sign it, and I'll send it to you, so you can put it up in your garage, your living room, your bedroom. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ta.